Hey guys, so it's important to understand that within the crab ride position itself, that there's a hierarchy of different gripping positions that we can use. So when I'm in the crab ride here, my goal is to obtain back exposure, right? So the best grips we can get in this position is like a rodeo grip here, or a horse collar grip. But of course, there's certain things they can do to make this job difficult. So my order of operations is to control the hip first always, because these grips are always going to be accessible to us. So I'm always looking to make a grip on the belt or even on the fabric around the waist here. So these are the standard crab ride grips that Danny showed us when we were transitioning side to side. However, based on his body position, we can look to trade these grips for something a little better. So for example, if Danny's facing away from me here and he's looking towards my feet, he offers us the grip behind the collar. And I can make a grip here and use this to facilitate my back takes. Oftentimes, the person's gonna be keen to this, exactly. So they're gonna be turning their back to the floor and he's gonna be denying me the back grip. When this happens, oftentimes he's gonna be opening up this space between his thigh and his torso. All right, we call this the hip space. And with this hip space, I'm gonna be able to now control collar grips. Okay, so it's important that we understand this hierarchy of positions within the crab ride. So the lowest being hip grips, okay, hip control here. This would be your standard position. Moving up the hierarchy of positions, we like to look for collar grips when they deny us back exposure. And then the best position of all is they give us back exposure and we can make a grip on the collar like so, or even closer to the far shoulder like this. Reason being is that if we can secure grips on the back, then that's going to be an easy path to a seatbelt or to a chairlift back take or something like this. All right. So now, once we understand the different grips we can make, we're looking to always expose the back with the grips we have. All right. So for example, if I have hip grips and I'm looking to transition side to side, I'm looking to always stack my partner or my opponent when I invert to the other side. Okay, we call this the stacked crab. When the person's back is on the floor like this, we call this the initial crab. It's very hard to take the back when the person's back's on the floor like this. This is usually where our passes are going to take place, like leg drags and things like that. If we're able to invert and expose the back, then we're going to be able to finish with a back take and something a little bit more effective like that. So let's say now, for example, his back is on the mat and I'm able to make a cross collar grip. I can do the same technique, invert to the other side, but now instead of controlling the hips, I'm controlling the collar. All right, so now when I invert, I control the collar and I can now progress towards other finishes as long as I'm stacking him and his back is off the floor. So notice how his hips are up and off the ground. If I have this, we're going to be able to take the back. Okay, so stacked crab is always the goal when we're in the crab ride. If they deny us the stacked crab and they're on the floor like this, then we're going to look for passes.